Americans consume over 11 pounds of chocolate per person every year, fueling a multi-billion-dollar industry built on the imagery of comfort, nostalgia, and celebration. But behind the bright foil and heartwarming commercials lies a dark reality that most global conglomerates hope you never discover. You see, not all chocolate is created equal. In fact, some of the most famous names currently sitting in your pantry are hiding ingredients that should concern anyone who reads a label, and ethical violations that are even more disturbing. Tonight, we're exposing 8 major American chocolate brands you should think twice about buying. We aren't talking about obscure imports. These are the bars sitting at every grocery store checkout across the nation, ranging from products contaminated with heavy metals to those fueled by a system of endemic child slavery. Exposing these giants is the first step toward change. Support independent research by liking this video and subscribing to our community of conscious consumers. Starting with a household staple, Hershey's milk chocolate is perhaps America's most iconic bar. But independent testing has recently revealed a bitter truth. These bars have been found to contain lead and cadmium at levels that exceed California's strict safety thresholds. To understand why this is a crisis, we have to look at the biology. Lead is a neurotoxin with no safe level of exposure, especially for developing children, as it can interfere with cognitive function and behavior. Cadmium, on the other hand, is a heavy metal that the body struggles to eliminate. It silently accumulates in the kidneys and bones over decades. Because Hershey's operates on such a massive scale, they often source the cheapest bulk cocoa from regions where the soil is naturally high in these metals. Rather than investing in cleaner soil or rigorous filtration, they prioritize the bottom line. In fact, if you flip the wrapper over, you'll find that the primary ingredients aren't even cocoa at all, but rather a combination of processed sugar, milk, and industrial vegetable oils. The issues only deepen when we look at Nestlé, the makers of Crunch and Butterfinger. For decades, Nestlé has been the target of intense criticism for one of the worst child labor records in the history of the food industry. Multiple international investigations have documented children as young as 12 working in grueling, dangerous conditions on their supplier farms in West Africa. These children are forced to wield heavy machetes to open cocoa pods and are frequently exposed to toxic pesticides without any protective gear. Despite over 20 years of public promises and sustainability initiatives meant to fix their supply chain, the cycle of exploitation continues because the price of cocoa is kept artificially low to maximize corporate margins. The betrayal of the consumer continues with Mars, the giant behind M&M's and Snickers. Their recipe reads less like a treat and more like a chemistry experiment. M&M's are famously packed with petroleum-derived artificial dyes like Red 40 and Yellow 5, which numerous studies have linked to hyperactivity and ADHD-like symptoms in children. While European versions of these candies often use natural fruit colorings, the American versions keep the chemicals. Snickers bars aren't much better, utilizing high fructose corn syrup and partially hydrogenated oils, sources of trans fats that are known to contribute to chronic heart inflammation. Furthermore, their massive demand for palm oil contributes to the devastating, rapid deforestation of Southeast Asian rainforests, wiping out the last remaining habitats for endangered orangutans. For those who prefer the elegance of a gift box, brands like Russell Stover and Whitman Sampler offer their own set of hidden costs. Russell Stover often avoids the expense of real cocoa butter entirely, substituting it with cheap palm kernel oil to create what is known as compound chocolate. To mimic the rich scent of real chocolate, they use artificial vanillin, a chemical flavor synthesized from wood pulp or petrochemical byproducts. Whitman Sampler, meanwhile, is notorious for its industrial shelf life. Because these boxes are often sold in drugstores and big box retailers, they are designed to sit in warehouses for months, if not years. This requires an arsenal of heavy preservatives and emulsifiers to prevent the fats from separating and the flavors from turning rancid. Even brands perceived as premium, like Ghirardelli, are not immune to these systemic issues. Despite the higher price tag and the sophisticated San Francisco branding, independent lab tests show that their heavy metal levels often mirror those of the budget brands. This reveals a shocking industry secret. You're often paying for a premium marketing department, rather than superior safety or ingredient purity. Perhaps the most deceptive case of all is Palmer chocolate. During the holidays, their shelves are lined with Easter bunnies and Santas that frequently fail to meet the legal FDA definition of chocolate. Because they contain zero actual cocoa butter, they are forced to use terms like chocolatey or chocolate flavored. These are essentially sugar and vegetable oil sculptures colored with a hint of cocoa powder. They target parents looking for a bargain, but the cost is a mouthful of industrial fillers that provide no nutritional value and very little actual chocolate flavor. But the most alarming entry on our list is Hershey's Special Dark. For years, it has been marketed as the healthy, antioxidant-rich choice for the health-conscious consumer. However, the science is contradictory. Because it contains higher cocoa solids, it also concentrates more heavy metals. Testing has shown that Hershey's Special Dark contains some of the highest levels of lead and cadmium among all major brands. For pregnant women and children who believe they are making a better choice, this bar may actually be a significant health hazard. Fortunately, there is a better way forward that doesn't require giving up your favorite treat. It simply requires becoming a conscious consumer. Start by looking for the fair trade and organic certifications on the label. These are the only ways to ensure your money supports systems that prohibit child labor and strictly limit the use of synthetic pesticides. Consider switching to European-based brands like Tony's Chocolonely, which was founded with the sole mission of making the chocolate industry 100% slave-free. Ethical cooperatives like Equal Exchange and Alter Eco also lead the way, ensuring the farmers are paid a true living wage and that the soil is tested for purity before a single bean is harvested. Your health and your conscience are worth far more than a cheap candy bar. By mastering the label and avoiding the chocolatey fillers of the Big Eight, you can protect your family and support a more ethical, transparent world. Choosing the right chocolate is a small step toward a much larger change. If you learned something new today, hit the like button to help this message reach more people. Subscribe to join our community of conscious consumers and comment below. Which of these brands surprised you the most? Your voice matters in changing this industry.